What's going on, everybody? It's Simple Logics back at it with another video. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Lost Planet 2, a game that I just recently finished. I'm going to let you guys know what I thought of it and whether or not it's still good. Without further ado, let's get this thing started. I really don't know where to start with this one. It was definitely a love-hate relationship throughout the entire game. I played the game on PC and entirely solo, which is extremely unfortunate because it's so obvious that this game was designed from the ground up to be played as a co-op experience. From the way that checkpoints are unlocked by smashing the Q button, which takes an unreasonably long time by yourself and would be much more effective with a co-op partner, to some of the lengthy boss fights that require teamwork and cooperation. The game just screams an amazing co-op experience. In fact, the game has some of the most interesting boss battles I've ever seen in a shooter before. Ones that force you to work as a team in order to kill the monsters efficiently. The one that stands out to me the most is a boss battle that takes place on a moving train. It requires one player to man a giant cannon, another player to load the cannon by finding ammo scattered throughout the train, and another player to repair the cannon as the monster damages it. After this battle, it was very clear to me that this game was truly an amazing co-op experience. And I wish more games would implement things like this into them, that truly forced you to work as a team. And this is where the hate part of my relationship with this game showed its head. The game was clearly built for 4 human players to play through, and instead of 3 other at least semi-intelligent players, I was given the most utterly useless pieces of garbage I've ever seen as AI. That's exaggerating, but no, seriously. For a game that requires 4 intelligent players to defeat some of the battles, they were pretty bad. Playing this game solo is just not the experience the developers had in mind when they created the game. Now don't get me wrong, you can definitely play this game without friends. I did it, and honestly, other than the horribly useless AI, I had fun. The game as a whole I'd have to give as an above average rating, even playing it as a single player experience. One thing that really impressed me was the amount of variety the game had to offer in its environments. There's nothing worse than playing a game where everything looks the same, and I'm a sucker for environments. The game starts out in the snow, takes you to a jungle, and eventually you're fighting on a desert planet. I also find it very hard to believe that this game came out nearly 7 years ago, because the graphics definitely hold up even today. The environmental effects in the snow, jungle, and desert were all spectacular, and the way the giant acrid would level entire buildings showed just how well this game can hold up 7 years later. Some things did make the game feel last generation though. For example, I found that the sprinting mechanic to be super annoying. While sprinting, you have almost no control in which direction you go. I know this was a thing for a while in a lot of games, but after playing newer, more refined shooters, this makes the game feel so outdated. And when you aren't sprinting, the movement speed feels so slow. Maybe it's because the movement speed has just gotten faster in video games over the years, but man, did I find it annoying at times. In fact, there was a lot of small quirks with the way certain mechanics worked, such as the grappling hook, which felt almost useless except in very specific situations, and not being able to reload while sprinting or pretty much doing anything just felt so old. Despite my many issues with the game, I see a true gem here, because it gets so much right. No, the story isn't gripping like it is in Spec Ops: The Line, but that's not what the game is about. You play multiple different characters in the game, each chapter you play is a different faction, so it's hard to get attached to any of the characters. But again, I'm okay with it, because in the end, the game is about saving the world from giant alien creatures. One thing that really stood out to me as a huge plus was that each faction you play as in the campaign leveled up separately, and every unlock and level up was persistent across single player, co-op, and PvP multiplayer. Of course, the multiplayer is no longer existent, so unfortunately I was not able to try that out. The first thing that came to mind after beating Lost Planet 2 was please make a current generation game in this series. I truly believe that if this format was modernized and had a compelling multiplayer mode that took advantage of the huge boss battles, this would be the best co-op focused game of the current generation. So to answer the question, is Lost Planet 2 still good? I'm gonna have to say it depends. If you have at least one other friend who's willing to play through the game with you, then I would say that this 10-hour campaign is well worth it, and you and your buddy would definitely enjoy it. The game is $20 on Steam, which I think is worth the asking price. You can even pick it up for like $5 when it goes on sale, which is definitely worth waiting for if you're going to attempt to play alone. But I have to warn you, playing through this game with 3 AI just doesn't quite hit the mark. Thank you guys so much for checking out my video. I hope you enjoyed my review. My goal with this series is to let you guys know how these older games stand up many years later, and if they are still worth playing. If you guys want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my other videos. Also, hitting the like button helps me out a ton. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video. This is Simple Logics, signing out.